Hey there, I hope everything is going awesome and that you're having a great beginning of this new week. Today we're going to talk about ideation. We're going to talk about what to do and what not to do. I'm going to give you some ideas of how I got started and perhaps some advice of where you should avoid fucking up. First off, why should you start in business? Running your own business is tiring, it's long, it's complicated, it's challenging, but it is probably one of the very most engaging and amazing growth opportunity that you can have as an individual. Never before had I felt so good about my career ever since I launched my company. I'm focusing 100% of my time on my own dream, and I'm not giving anyone my most important resource anymore, which is my time. It's super important to allocate your time, your energy, and your money effectively. Business teaches you exactly that. Never before had I had to learn how to manage finance, how to manage a team, how to manage trouble, how to manage clients. I got so many good skills and so many good life competence through running my company. So there's plenty going on. I'm always having to kind of be there for the client, be able to respond fast, and take care of pretty much everything. It's a lot, but it's awesome. Whenever you launch an idea in business, it's super important to test your idea before it goes out there. In every industry, there's problems, bunch of problems. Like there's so many things they can target, that for me, the most important is for you to focus on what's passionating you, and on the other hand, focusing on something where there is a real problem to face, a real problem to solve. How many people launch products that don't make any sense, and then they realize, oh shit, I spent my time, my money, my energy on this business that no one responded to, or at least a very little amount of the market responded to, and now I'm just burnt out. I don't know what to do anymore. For this reason, it's just super important that you focus on launching businesses that people want. Very hard indeed. Prove your concept. Test your idea. Test it as early on as you can. Make your idea as simple as possible. Build a minimum viable product through a very simple solution before you even spend money on launching that. The way in which we made our MVP was through a Figma prototype that was clickable, and then we went to ask a bunch of people what they thought of it, gathered data, asked for opinions, and then we did build our first website. So that's how we kind of tested. We gathered data from this, iterated, tried to bring more sense to it, and now we get into a stage where we're bringing more and more sense to the company and to its software. Testing your business idea is absolutely key, because if you launch something that's going to take you a long time to launch, that's going to take you a lot of energy and a lot of money to then realize, shit, no one wants that, well, you'll feel like a fool and you will not want to pivot, and it will take so much more time to pivot, to change, and to bring, different initiatives to make your company a success. If you've got a simple version that you can just build around, iterate, make some changes, gather feedback, and apply, to the solution itself, it will be much easier. What do I do now? My advice for you would be to really get to know your industry. You need to know your industry like no one else. You need to be an expert. You need to know exactly what the hell you're talking about. What I mean by this is reading reports, talking to people, gathering information, going to events. You really need to put in the work to be very good. You need to be better than your competitors. How can you build your MVP in a very simple way? Mine was Figma. I had to learn how to prototype, and I gathered data from that. Some people will use no-code tools such as bubble.io, for example, which is very good, but I still haven't figured out how to use. Then you have Webflow. You've got many different sources of tools on the internet which will allow you to build prototypes and very simple solutions of your product. Learn how to prototype, learn how to put together user journeys, wireframes, get those skills. You really need to map out your user journey. Around the user journey, you'll be able to create wireframes. From your wireframes, you'll be able to create a prototype and then a first version. Okay, so here's the problem related to money. How did you get your first version in the market without spending too much money? So guess what? At first, I have spoken to agencies. I spoke to hundreds and hundreds of potential tech co-founders, and that is a real gold mine in the startup industry. It's very hard to find people that are good in tech and that will be willing to help you for no money or for little money. I was just talking to people all the time. I would gather opinion from them, feedback, and then eventually, after meetings and failed relationships and failed collaborations and a lot of stress and worry, I got to meet my tech co-founders and my tech partners who did help us up to here, and they're still going to help us for a long time, hopefully, to get our company going forward. Talking about investors. Do you need investors? Well, your business might do, but your business might also not. My best advice here would be to bootstrap as much as you can, because the earlier on you give equity away, the earlier on you have to respond to other bosses than just yourself. But obviously, depending on how much growth you want for your business and how fast you want it to grow, it might be needing venture capital investment or a business angel round, or even a friends, families and full round. But that really depends on what structure you want for your own company. That entrepreneurship is very fucking lonely. Sometimes it is very hard to be an entrepreneur. It is very tricky. You have so much work. You have to satisfy so many people, and sometimes it just feels like it's you against the rest of the world. Many people will tell you that your business makes no sense, that your idea is not worthwhile following, and that you will never succeed in. So don't worry if they tell you don't do it. Perhaps you should actually get it done. Some advice for somebody, or if that's especially you, that has plenty of idea but doesn't exactly know what to do. My best advice here for you would be to, undertake a lot of introspection. Really take the time to understand where your passion lies, who you are, what you want, what you're good at, and what you will love to bring the world. Sometimes you might have business ideas that are not necessarily the ones you want to follow. For this reason, I really advise you guys to start journaling. Take the time to breathe and think about yourself and think about your values. Thinking about your values and what you want to bring into the world and into your life is strongly important, because that creates a very strong pillar to what could be the foundations to a very successful business. Being a happy founder is a source of inspiration and motivation to the growth of your company. The day you'll have a team, if they see you as this miserable leader, they won't want to work with you. However, if you're aligned with your values, that you've got some strong goals that you're inspired by, and that you love what you do, they will always want to do their very best to satisfy you at all time. So make sure that what you do passionates you. Make sure that it wakes you up every morning with the gut feeling of knowing that you're doing the exact thing that you should be doing right now. Starting a business ain't easy. It's worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. So start it, keep going, fail fast if you need to, learn from it, and get that unicorn created. I believe in you. Take care of yourself. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.